Welcome back to Wednesday Night Fightback. And I wanted to talk about the knotty issue of Remainers, because let's face it, for years now, we as Brexiteers have been lambasted as low-life, know-nothing, racist, imperialist nostalgics, which is not a very nice thing to be called all the time. But yet, well, a couple of things. First of all, my sister's a Remainer, and I love her dearly. She's a Germanophile for very good reasons that I understand. And, I'm not going to fall out with her about this. And at the same time, when I have arguments with Remainers, increasingly what I'm hearing is, yes, but look at all the problems that Britain has. To which my feeling is, well, you've only just noticed. That's why, we wanted to, that's why we're Brexiters in the first place. So are we being too hard on them?
Well, I think there are many different types. I think actually, one of my theories with political campaigning generally, or door to door anywhere else, is that most people are nice, and it's true.
Yeah, it is.
And actually, it is true. And most Remainers, I mean, there's a perfectly justifiable, rational, intellectual reason for voting Remain, perfectly justifiable. And in fact, one or two prominent Social Democrats voted Remain. But they're all democratic Remainers, and that's where I sort of go, there's a fork in the road, really. The number of people who are aggressive Remainers of the type, the sort of, or the slightly ignorant ones like Caroline Lucas, saying things that are absolutely preposterous, is a minority. I think most people, it's probably about 10%, 15% of the population have that attitude, and you'll never convert them, Michael. I mean, they'll always... they literally, the weather was worse on the day after we left the European.
I call them revanchists because they want revenge. And I think these people are unreasonable, unreachable, and actually bad. I think they're malign. But I don't think that's what most Remainers now are.
No, I agree with you. I think we can make common cause with the vast majority probably who just want the best for the country. Maybe they want it by a different route, but I don't question their good faith. I think they just take a different position. I mean, the curious thing, and perhaps we should sort of fess up to it a little bit, is that if you're a free trader, if you're keen on free trade, you really oughtn't to have voted for Brexit, really, because it makes no sense at all. I mean, if you like the single market, you really ought to have stayed in, and then you have all these sort of, big business friendly stitch-ups done for you. And also on our side, there should be a little bit of contrition in that the Brexit coalition itself was split, and our vision was different to probably the majority vision. That's the first thing. And I think we did, another thing we can now own up to, I think, and I'd be perfectly happy to, is that I think we underestimated the difficulties of implementing a project in the teeth of an elite that really didn't want to do it. What do you think to that?
Well, again, I think you've got to question how many of that elite are actually not Remainers but revanchists. And if they're revanchists, I think they've got to go. I mean, I think I think they've just got to go because they're malign. They're malign. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The Brexit coalition was unstable right from the start, and I think in to a sense it certainly remains so. I'm not sure that the SDP policies are completely allied with those of, for example, Reform or Mr. Farage.
Or Rees-Mogg.
Or Rees-Mogg, yeah. I mean, they will be on some things, but on other things. So I just think it would be helpful to say, look, actually, we are where we are, Remainers. You're right. There really are problems. Here are our ideas about how to deal with them. And, oh, by the way, some of our policies you couldn't have done within the European Union. For example, the industrial policy and the redevelopment policies. Couldn't have done them, which is why...
No, I agree.
I agree. I think some of these guys are our natural allies, not our natural enemies.
Yeah, and I just throw another sort of point in, which is a cultural point, which I try and make a lot, which is that the SDP has always been and is a very, very pro-European party culturally. I'm very lucky in getting a couple of days off next week, Michael, and I'll be walking a bit of the coast in Portugal, and it's a country I love, and I speak Portuguese. And I think the idea that if you voted Brexit, you're not pro-European is absurd. Actually, all of us love Europe's cultures and regional cultures and national cultures. And it's entirely up to the French, Michael, but I prefer sort of France with with a passport and a franc when you go, and I'd prefer Portugal with an escudo. But there you go, it's up to them.
Up to them. Up to them.
Yeah.
All right. So time to start love bombing the reasonable Remainers.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Take care. Cheers.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.